What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So if you guys are new to the channel, my name is Mahul. We do some pretty cool car stuff, and again, we're on our way to 10,000 subscribers. We're at 4,500 and going up slowly at almost at 10,000, but that's the goal for the end of the year. I know we can do it, so go ahead, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you guys can get the notifications when the new video is up. We are going to be getting the car ready for BMW Invasion here on March 20th. So if you haven't already, the details are going to be down below in the description, so check that stuff out. So basically in today's video, what we're going to be actually talking about is, there's one thing, the car is having a little bit of a rough start. And basically, so I changed out a couple things from what the tuner says, like to use some genuine parts and stuff like that on a couple of the sensors. So I've done. So I put a GM oil pressure sensor and I put a GM map sensor. So here's the kicker. So the oil pressure sensor works perfectly fine with the new one. It's actually a lot better than the original one that I had, and mainly because I think the issue was I didn't torque it the first time, so that's kind of threw off the reading a little bit. But now once I got the GM one, torqued it down with the correct socket and everything works perfectly fine. So that squares that part away. I also replaced the map sensor. The E85 in the, here's like the whole misconception of E85 and all that stuff a little bit too. So here's the thing. I had, the first time I put E85 in the car was January 6th. And then the second time was in, actually I haven't put anything. There's the tank and that was January 6th, so it's been like 2 months old already. And then so I thought it was bad E85. I was out of town for my birthday. And then when I got back out in town, I was like, alright, let me play around with it. Now I have some time. So I drained the E85 because everyone said don't have E85 for more than a couple of weeks or it's going to cause like starting issues, stuff like that. But this car, it had starting issues and like had a little bit of a rough idle. So I was like, okay, this is weird. Never had this before. I was like, so I drained the E85, put on 93, and then at the same time drained that back out, and then I put a little bit back, more 93 after like it was mixing a little bit, ran the fuel pump a little bit, and then it still had the same rough idle, a little bit of hard to start. I was like, okay, now let's go back to status. Oil pressure sensor is not gonna do anything. Let me put in the old map sensor. So the GM map sensor that I paid $80 for, and or excuse me, like 114, 120 bucks for this, or actually 80 bucks for it. So for the $80 GM parts map sensor that I bought, the same part number that I bought from Amazon. The Amazon one is the one that was currently in the car, original one. And then the tuner was like, yo, put in some GM ones, stuff like that. And I get it, cool, use some actual genuine branding because they last a lot better and better durability and stuff like that. So the GM one, I'm not hating on anybody, GM's great. I'm using their motor inside of my BMW, so it's great. The thing is, so I bought the GM map sensor, same exact part number from the Amazon one that I originally bought. Amazon one works perfectly fine. That one was like 23 bucks, and then it's 3-bar map sensor, works like a charm. Use that to tune the car, no issues. So same part number I bought from GM. GM was like 80 bucks. Threw it in the car, or I reversed the steps. So I put the old Amazon one back in the car. I took out the GM one map sensor, and that fixed that rough idle issue in the car. So I didn't put any of the E85 back in the car and let that car just run a little bit without any, just 93. It could have been bad E85 too, but it could be the map sensor. But like, that's what was one of the issues that was causing the car not to start. As of right now, the car's working perfectly fine. Did the new coolant. I need to do, so I bought this other thing. This is actually from Holly. So when I have, this has been on backward for the longest time. It's basically like a canvas splitter. Basically I can have, because since I have the Holly digital dash and all that stuff, so I can plug this in and I can have the digital dash on one end, and I can plug in my USB on the other end, so I can utilize both screens, versus disconnecting that one end and keeping just connecting into the computer. So it just makes it easier for me and the tuner and stuff like that. Also, fix the coolant. The coolant thing works perfectly fine. I'll show you guys that really quick. And the setup on that's perfectly. Create a bracket for the overflow tank, and honestly, everything wise, it's pretty solid. It looks really, really good. But the coolant, no issues, not a problem. So we are on our way to BMW Invasion. So we're gonna get that prepped and ready to go. Hopefully with BMW Invasion, I'm gonna create some cool content for you guys. And because it's like pretty much a BMW show, which is really cool. And I haven't been to BMW Invasion at all, so it'd be pretty cool. I haven't seen any videos that are out there for BMW Invasion either. So this is gonna be pretty cool. So hope you guys enjoy. Let's get to the garage. Alright, so this was the GM map sensor that took us. 3-bar map sensor, the same part number. Basically, it's located right there on the back of the manifold. So basically, I put the Amazon back in, took out the GM one, and the car is running perfectly fine, like no issue. Alright, so I wanted to show you guys a little bit of stuff that I've done. So I put in this new filter for my my oil filter, so that way this baby can breathe, because the guy told me just to let your crankcase vent. So I was like, alright, perfect. So there's that, and then here's the chase base filler neck. So basically I kind of send a water pump, so now this is the high point for my coolant. Goes into the radiator, and then I have this feeding into my overflow tank, which is right over here, also from chase base. Super built, super nice quality. I really like it. Super nice and tough, and works like a charm. I love this thing. Like, it's got some good weight to it too. Like, the quality on this is actually really nice. So got a couple of adapters and fittings. Everything is working perfectly fine. No issues, no leaks, no nothing, which is great. I'm gonna have to clean this up before the show and all that stuff. And then honestly, overall, really happy with the way it turned out. Like, I don't think I could be even more happier. Like, I'm trying to figure out other ways I could probably route this, but this was like the best way I could route it with the space I had. But it worked out perfectly like a charm. So big shout out to Chase Base for helping us out with this build and getting this motor back on, getting this car back on the road and getting it going. So I went ahead and bought this fluid transfer pump from AutoZone for like $10. Picked up some 93 gas. We are going to basically suck the gas, siphon the gas out of here and put it back into the E85 gas cans, and then later on go ahead and drain that out, or go to a place to dispose of that. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and open this up. And get this gas drained out, and hopefully, cross some fingers, this fixes our problem. All right, so currently I have the pump or the gas or the 85 being sucked into the gas can. So hopefully this is draining it out. So I'm just using suction as it, and then basically it's just gonna be dumping into there. Have the 93. We're gonna throw that in. Hopefully firing it up, but give this about like a few minutes and let this pour up, or let this drain out. Alright guys, so that's basically it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and pretty much, I know it's like a pretty small, short video, but I want to give you guys an update on basically the things I'm doing for the BMW. And again, a big shout out to Chase Base for helping us out with sending out a couple of parts for this build and getting us going and back on the road and everything like that. Drive the car on the block, works perfectly fine. I am going to do a couple more things. I need to connect the boost controller, wire up the boost controller, so I'm going to show you guys that in the next couple videos. Probably after BMW Invasion, because I don't need a boost controller for BMW Invasion. So after BMW Invasion, the details for that is going to be down below, March 20th. Things from like 12 to 6, so come out, show your boys some love, and check out the build. It's crazy. It is crazy. So I can't wait to show you guys that. Also, so after BMW Invasion, we'll get the boost control wired in, and I'll show you guys that on how to do that too. Pretty cool, because it's actually a $60 part for like that you can do with boost control, so it's really cool, and it works perfectly with the Holly ECM. So Tuner recommended it, so that's why we're doing it. So that's that. And then if you guys haven't already, subscribed to the channel, like the video, turn on the notification bell, and we'll catch you guys next video. Peace, and don't forget, live your dreams. Bye.